Came home from work tonight and got caught in the dumbest, most avoidable way. I work in a hospital, I had a long shift, and I was dead tired. I didn't think twice when I walked in the door. He hugged me like always. Then he stiffened, pulled back and stared at my neck. "What is that?" I touched it automatically, still not fully processing. The second my fingers hit it, my stomach dropped. I knew exactly what he was seeing. I must have gone pale because his face changed immediately. I said I didn't know. Said maybe something happened at work. Patients grab. I work with psychiatric patients. Equipment straps rub. People bump into you constantly in tight spaces. Hospitals are rough environments. Bruises happen. But come on. Even I know how thin that sounded. He said it didn't look like an accident. Said it looked like a hickey, shape, color, placement. Dark purple right on the side of my neck, half hidden by my collar like I was tempting fate. He asked me outright if I was cheating. I denied it, no hesitation. I wasn't about to implode my entire life over one visible mistake when there was still a chance he might doubt himself. I told him he was accusing me of something awful. Said it hurt that he didn't trust me. Turned it back on him just enough to slow things down. Now I'm on the couch. He's in the bedroom, silent. And honestly, that silence is worse than yelling. Here's the thing, I don't regret the affair. I regret being careless. Neck marks are amateur hour. I should have known better. I've been doing this long enough that I let my guard down. And this is what happens. The mark wasn't worth it, but my AP was. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Right now I'm trying to decide whether to stick to the hospital incident story or pivot if he presses harder. Changing explanations too fast is a giveaway, but so is over-explaining. I need to be calm, consistent, and bored by the accusation. Emotional reactions only make it worse. Question for the sub. Has anyone here successfully brushed off a hickey when you live with your SO? Did you hold the line, or did suspicion just rot things slowly from the inside? Because I can feel it. This isn't something that's going to explode tonight. This is the kind of thing that sits there and quietly rots the official relationship. And I really don't want this to be the crack that brings everything down. Yeah, basically, I want to have my cake and eat it too. Update. I think I'm starting to regret everything. 3 days after the whole neckmark situation, I left him. We didn't work through it. We didn't do some long, painful reconciliation arc. I was already emotionally gone, and once the suspicion was out there, it just stripped away the last bit of inertia. I spent the weekend with my AP hotel. No more sneaking, just us, and 48 hours of endless sex. It was a relief not having to pretend anymore. Somewhere in the middle of my sex marathon, I told my ex the truth via text. I'm in love with someone else. He is better in bed. He is more attentive. He sees me in a way my ex stopped doing a long time ago. Before anyone jumps on me, yes, I know how that sounds, but I was done minimizing my experience to protect someone else's feelings. Now, after 3 weeks since leaving, I do wish I had not done that. That was just foolish of me. A few days later, I went back to the house to get my things. I brought my AP with me. I thought I was being brave and making decisions for myself. I wasn't going to tiptoe around anymore. I wanted a clean break, no ambiguity. Some of the stuff I left behind, I didn't want it. Gifts, sentimental things, reminders of a relationship where I had felt stuck and small. I threw some of it out right there, right in front of him. I could tell it hurt him, but at that point I was already the villain. So what difference did it make? When he asked why, I told him, all the things I'd been holding in for years. The boredom, feeling like roommates, feeling unseen, feeling like I was always the one asking for affection. He said I never communicated any of it. Maybe I didn't, in the neat bullet point way people expect, but I felt unheard for a long time. I'm tired of being told I should have begged harder for basic emotional connection. Yes, I told my family everything. From my perspective, I wasn't protecting a man who I felt emotionally checked out for years. I blocked him after he kept texting, some of it angry, some of it asking to return the stuff he gifted me. I needed space, and honestly, I needed peace. Money-wise, that situation is messy. I do have a student loan, car loan, and a small personal loan, which eat up majority of my salary, so I relied a lot on my ex. And with him gone, I'm struggling to keep my head above water. I'm currently back at my parents' place. That's been humbling, and it's forced me to accept that choosing something new doesn't mean instant stability or clarity. I know how it looks from the outside. Nurse leaves stable boyfriend for a temp hospital janitor who lives with his mom. People love to frame it as a downgrade. What we had was intense, validating, and alive, something I hadn't felt in a long time. I don't regret acknowledging that I wanted something different from my life, but I do regret how I went about it, and my mom would not shut up about how stupid I am. It's really the one downside of this whole thing, that I am no longer able to afford the lifestyle I'm used to. I've heard through mutuals that my ex wants to talk. Right now, I don't think that would be productive. I'm not in a place where I can offer him anything that wouldn't reopen wounds. If we ever speak again, I want it to be from a place of accountability rather than defensiveness. I'm starting therapy. I need to understand why I avoid hard conversations until they turn into exits, why I seek validation instead of asking for connection, and how I let myself cause so much destruction to my own self. I'm not proud of how everything happened, but I'm also not going to pretend I didn't choose what felt right for me. Final update. I have a 10-month-old baby. The father and I had a short relationship and were never married. He was working as a temp/contract worker when we were together. When I got pregnant, he ended the relationship and was only minimally involved during the pregnancy. After the baby was born, he contributed occasionally but inconsistently, mostly small amounts or buying things directly. After I texted him repeatedly. About 3 months ago, I started asking him to help more consistently with expenses, diapers, formula, insurance. He was angry about it and told me to stop bothering him. Shortly after that, he told me he stopped working entirely. He has not paid anything since and has essentially cut off communication. He is physically able to work. He quit because he didn't want to be forced to pay for things. He lives with his mom who's paying for everything so he doesn't have to work. He claimed that if he has no income, he can't be made to pay child support. I don't know if that's actually true. I live in Idaho and so does he. He is listed as the father, but we do not have any child support order or custody agreement in place. I am the primary caregiver and the baby lives with me full-time. My questions are, can I still file for child support even if he claims to have no income? How does the court handle situations where a parent voluntarily stops working to avoid paying support? Do I need to establish paternity through the court before requesting child support, or can that be done as part of the same process? Is there anything I should be doing now to protect myself and my child financially while this is pending? Any guidance on how this typically works would be appreciated.